I don't remember the time at all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. The only other thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer. The banana? That was only a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
That's all you had to say? How can you be so calm?
It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client. There you go. Slow and steady.
You mean Maggie?
Yes. And if she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying! Why the fuck did I sound like Monokuma there for a second? You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright. I found out the truth. No matter how well you craft your lies. Alrighty then, Mr. University Vampire, I guess. I don't know why I gave him that voice. I guess I'm gonna stick with it. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I mean, it does fit with Blanco Nino, in terms of confident, arrogant type voice. So you were at the park all afternoon? You seem to have a lot of free time. That was very rude of you. But then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduated from a no-name, trashy university. No name? Trashy? No, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country. Make the country great again! But I thought you said you were thinking about which college to go to just now. Please! Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country. That arrogant little snot. Jesus. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. Past 6 p.m. A wonderful time for sucking blood from people. Boy! How did you know what time it was? I see you're not wearing a watch, so... Is that the best you can do? Do you think you can discredit me like that? You're just a third-rate, biased fool. I guess I cannot expect real smarts from you. His arrogance is really intolerable. So what should I do now? Press him hard! Press the fuck out of him! Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? Yeah, I mean, what you're doing is basically avoiding the question, no matter how you look at it. And no matter how you insult Nick here. Tisk tisk. I cannot believe I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There was this little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time. As you can see, Mr. Wright, it's even in this picture of the crane scene. Yep. Oh, so it is. Good. I looked at that clock, and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept, it's a totally another note. Every real first-class person doesn't like by to wear a watch. Ha! I would completely should live freely without constraints. And And yet again, another flood of meaningless words. You know, might as well just give him, like, the... whatchamacallit? The Charlie Brown / Peanuts / whatever that show was called. Like, that sort of treatment that Wendy Oldbag got in the first series as well. Might as well. I mean, I never really watched that show, really, so that's why I'm having a hard time remembering even the name of it. But I did watch the Peanuts movie a couple of years ago, like that 3D movie that they released like years ago. It was fun. It was quite nice. It was the only thing that I watched that was of that show. In any case, all of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. And how did he know he was? How did he know he was a police officer? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell just what kind of occupation he held. That shoddy do-it-yourself hair. Yep, there you go. Shouldn't that statement have come first?
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do?
I haven't figured that out yet. And it wouldn't even matter, Maya. If he decides to even pay attention to you next, you're gonna be flooded with insults too. And you wouldn't want that. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. And now he sounds like one of those old-fashioned superheroes. I come to the rescue! Are you sure you got a good look at her face? Animals have this thing called an eye, Mr. Wright. They use this eye to see things. In the case of humans, we have two of them. Yes, even you! I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look at her face?
That's what the witness was just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning.
State. Mr. Wright, please refrain from raising your voice in this court. I don't know, is it just me or up until now, Mr. Payne has been trying to suck up to the judge quite a lot up until now. It does feel like he did that like a couple of times, including this time.
Then please don't make me have to raise my voice.
I mean, he always does that. He always raises his voice. So why stopping him right now? Are you finished? I'd like to continue, if that's alright with you. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. So you're sure you're not mistaken? Please, don't confuse your pitiful train wreck of a life with mine. I am what you call a famous brand name product, while you are only a cheap imitation. And there is no way someone as magnificent as myself could have made a mistake. Of course, of course. Oh ho 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 ho, of course. Did you notice anything else of interest with us? The only other thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer. The banana? Well, it was actually more than just one. More like a bunch of bananas. Now, what would a bunch of bananas be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw.
That's very strange. Megan never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. Nick. He's gotta be lying about the bananas.
He could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being bananas at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie?
Well, maybe he thought he was saying one thing, and it was something else?
Pretty much. I mean, I already know what he was referring to. If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix. Think! If my client is innocent, there's no way he could have seen what he says he did.
Which means if we can somehow show he's lying.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right. She's got a sharp mind. And I just wish I could remember who she is. Oh. You'll remember soon, Nick. She is a lovely girl, I tell you. Always trying her best to help you. And more than likely, it doesn't come as a surprise that, till now, she has trained hard in order to help us.
Is everything okay, Nick?
Okay, well, in that case, let's see about this statement over here, where he saw the bananas. And tell him that what he saw weren't actually the bananas. It was the baseball glove! Objection! Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the bananas you saw. Right here! Huh, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? But don't think you can use this as a way to pull more information out of me. And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that the baseball glove?
Whoa, what? A baseball glove? Well, yeah. I mean, look at it. It's clearly a baseball glove. I mean, if you bother to use even a tiny bit of your deduction skills and those balls inside your head that are called eyes, you would have noticed that those are not bananas. It doesn't look delicious. Care for a bite? Dude, that's not it. It's no! Your Honor, I think this proves one very important thing. This witness. Well, there is no doubt about that. He loves bananas. Mr. Wellington loves large bananas. I mean, they are quite good. They offer a lot of vitamin B and vitamin C.
Nick, I hope you've noticed the icy glares we're getting from everyone here.
Well, we are used to it at this point. Does anybody want a banana? What in the world do you mean? I'll have you know I like strawberries much better than bananas. Oops. Think it over one more time, and try again, Mr. Wright. This witness. Alright, well, there is no doubt about it. He has bad eyesight. And I think I'm realizing where we're going with this. And it has something to do with the broken glasses. By the way, just how bad are your eyes? Huh? Oh, why are you asking me about this all of a sudden?
Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas.
No, I don't think so. Our objection overruled. You're one of those people. Yes, you know what I mean. You're like those people who refuse. And that is why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. They're both 20/25! I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses. So to replace them...
How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then?
Ah! How about it, witness? You are an unrelenting evil man! You're like those people who rejected Jonah. My god, what a chatterbox he is! Jesus!
He really is beating old bag in terms of how much of a chatterbox he is.
Good lord!
Which boils down to you were not wearing your glasses at that time.
Therefore, the identity of the woman that is in the crime, and that of the defendant, cannot be proven to be the same by this witness.
But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path.
If he wasn't able to recognize the gloves, how is it possible for him to recognize somebody's face at a much bigger distance? Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Please tell the court what happened next, in the moments after you witnessed the crime.
Alright, what happened next? The girl in the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 PM when I made the call. They must have a lot of free time on their hands, since they showed up within 10 minutes. So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away? Yes, that is correct. Which is why, even someone without a superior brain like mine can understand that. That girl is the murderer! You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. She ran away, just like that? Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like the guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone who only got a third-rate education?
Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get.
Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell he was my client?
The witness has already answered that question. He has stated that the defendant is the culprit.
This is true, Mr. Wright. I struck your question from the record.
How can I get more information out of him?
After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime.
Immediately? As in
immediately. I mean, sure, a minute might have elapsed before I did, but... That's the duty of every good citizen. Or did they not teach that at your pitiful school?
You think they will learn about how to call the police in college? Hey Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record for a second.
Yeah, I think we're thinking the same thing here. Clearly there is a contradiction here when it comes to the phone and when the victim died. But let's see about pressing him a little more. How do you know what time it was? That detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school. Hey pal! I graduated from a pretty good, I mean top-ranked college!
I don't believe this. It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I called. And if I'm wrong, then the detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time.
What? Why you're just some lousy kid who...
I think the court can see your point. Anyway, how did the police respond?
They must have a lot of free time on their hands, since they showed up within 10 minutes.
So you're saying that there were police on the scene by 7 PM?
They got there before that, I think. There usually aren't many people in that area at that time of day. But suddenly, before I knew it, there were people crawling all over, gawking. It certainly says something about the morals of the people in this country.
I cannot find anything out of the ordinary in his testimony. Why didn't you take one more look at the court record?
Yeah, I guess I should. Alrighty then, Mr. Wellington over here.
Let's see about looking at this statement over here and showing you the report, which says that the time of death was 6:20 PM. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this?
You mean the victim's autopsy report?
According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 PM.
So what of it?
You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. Indeed. You said that you immediately called the police after witnessing the murder. And it was 6:20 AM when the victim died. What time did you mention before when you called the police? However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 PM. There is clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed. For 15 minutes, Mr. Payne? 15 minutes doesn't strike me as immediate when it comes to calling the police after murder. "15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed."
Mr. Wellington.
Yes?
Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes?
Answer the question. Telephone, I mean...
Spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth.
A phone booth?
You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your questions. As if you're trying to open all the layers of a matryoshka doll. You must think you're really something special.
Witness.
I lost my cell phone. There! Are you happy?
You lost it?
Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone. You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What? Are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Haven't you ever heard that all geniuses are by the order of... Enough.
Oh man. Wait, hold on a second. He lost his cell phone? Nick, that cell phone. Could it be... You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I just didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Question him further. Mr. Wellington, where is your cell phone right now?
What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone. I'll have you know. See? Here is it. Oh, I see.
Also he's got his phone. And I thought that just maybe this was his.
Well then, I think we cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth. Oh, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, there's definitely something there.
Your Honor,
The witness's testimony does not make sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone.
clearly.
How dare you?
You cannot just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you?
Yeah, we do have. Well, yeah, of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think. Alright, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth.
Now, he didn't need to search for a phone booth because he was like right there, like in front of him. Yeah, see? He was like right near the body, so why the fuck would he need to search for a phone booth that hard? It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this.
At the crime scene photo?
Is there a problem with it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. Ah!
It's a phone booth.
That is correct. So in other words, he didn't search a phone booth for 15 minutes. It is a lie because there was a phone booth like right there. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you?
Grr!
Order! Order!
What does reporting the crime a little late prove for you? The witness cannot explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. That is reason enough to throw suspicion on his testimony.
Yes, this is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Then I bet this phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back.
Indeed. It very well can be that Wellington here used his phone, so that he could have Maggie and Dustin be there at 6 PM. But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him. So there was no reason for him to kill for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway.
But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, was he looking for something else?
Was he?
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
do you have any thoughts you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes?
I might have an idea. There is only one possible explanation.
Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. I probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility.
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away?
Why? Because he was falsifying the crime scene. He changed stuff around so that everyone would suspect Maggie instead. As for evidence... As for evidence... It isn't crime photo 2. Perhaps this is the evidence you need to be convinced. No? Okay, maybe not that.
Perhaps.
That was just an idea I thought I'd throw out.
I would suggest that perhaps you should find a better piece of evidence.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Well then...
But before you do, you will be penalized. Of course.
Ouch!
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away?
I mean, he was searching for something. Wellington must have had Dustin as his target so that whatever secret he has would be kept secret. It very well could be that he was searching for something incriminating that was inside Dustin. Like... this list of con artists? Perhaps this is the evidence you need to be convinced. No?
Perhaps.
That was just an idea I thought I'd throw out.
I suggest that perhaps you should find a better piece of evidence.
I guess that's strike 2.
Ugh.
And the thing is, my health bar is actually the same, even after recess, so it doesn't reset. Ouch. Ouch.
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away?
Alright. One other thing can be that his glasses broke when Dustin fell on them. These could very well be his glasses, like right over here. And because they broke, it would have been very hard for Wellington to do his own thing. Like, search his body, falsify the crime scene, and or even call the cops afterwards. So, that could be it. Mr. Wellington. What? Don't do that. You almost made me have a heart attack. Wow. You're surely changing your voice here, Mr. Wellington. These are your glasses, aren't they? Ah! Where did you... Ah! I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. That these glasses are in fact yours. I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body.
Under the victim's body? Order. Order. No, wait a second. Hold on. I didn't confess or
anything. Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit knew that he had to find his glasses, and searched frantically for them. What he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body. And that is why it took him 15 minutes to make that call!
Mr. Wright, are you indicting the witness as the real murderer?
Well, ain't that a surprise? I mean, think about it. You were about to declare Maggie Bird as not guilty before. Before we even talked about who the real killer would be. I mean, in this situation, who else could it be? Of course. That is precisely what I'm doing. I know I'm right. He is the real murderer!
Did you figure it out, Nick?
More or less. Turns out this cell phone was the key to this case after all. Anyway, now is our chance to deep six this guy. I'll sink him in one shot!
Yeah! This is so exciting! Watching you work again!
Somehow, my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife. And this is the moment I've been waiting for. Oh yeah!
Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on. He accuses the witness of being the murderer.
Yeah! That's right. I'm no criminal. This is this third-rate fraud of a lawyer.
In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Let's hear your explanation as to why you're not the murderer.
What? Why? That's easy. For example, there's the name the victim wrote. What about that?
Well, it's simple. We established earlier that it couldn't have been Dustin who wrote it, given that he's left-handed. And since Maggie left the crime scene, the only one left there who could have wrote that name was, well, you! Oh, you mean the name Maggie?
Yeah, even an idiot like you can read that, right?
But we already know this was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie, and the victim was left-handed.
So basically, you're saying that in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground?
Exactamundo!
But, wouldn't that mean that the real criminal was someone the defendant knew?
Otherwise, how else would that person know her name was Maggie? Or Maggie?
Alright. In order for it to happen, the murderer had to know Maggie's name to pin the crime on her. And you are just some random schmuck nobody knows about. But there was one moment where you could have found her name before the crime scene.
That is a good point.
The witness didn't even know of
The witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before this trial.
I forgot. Was there any way this creep could have known Maggie's name beforehand? Of course there was! It would be best if I could prove that the witness had a chance to learn that the defendant's name was Maggie.
Now, will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name?
Simple. It is with this, the phone! Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct?
So what if I didn't?
When you realized you had lost it, what did you do?
What did I do?
Didn't you try to find it by calling it?
Why, how did you...
Simple. Maggie told us. She picked up the phone on the day of the crime, and she got called by the owner of the phone. And during the conversation, she mentioned her name. And that is how you knew what name to write. Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with...
Overruled. Mr. Wright, why are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there is some relation between this witness's cell phone and the murderer?
I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in a park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone.